How to lose a pot belly in 2021. Let's get right into it. I refer to pot belly really as rice belly. It's an accumulation of fat behind the abdominal wall and also surrounding the internal organs, which is why you get that pushed out pot, because the fat, rather than being on the other side of the abdomen where it appear more sloppy, it's behind it, and that's what gives it that hard, round appearance. It's typical in people of Asian, Latin, but most especially people of Indian descent. If you've ever noticed, a lot of people of Indian descent will have skinny limbs. They won't be overweight, but if you take a closer look, they will have that pot belly, or what I refer to as a rice belly. And the reason I refer to it as a rice belly is because, obviously a lot of cultures, rice is a staple. Unfortunately, it is the root cause of the problem. So the primary cause is because of rice being such a staple and consumed quite a bit. Unfortunately, when rice is eaten in excessive portions throughout the day, or even if it's just eaten in 2 to 3 meals in excessive portions, that excess glucose that your body doesn't use up is redirected to the liver. And then, of course, in the liver, it is converted into triglyceride or fat. And because you may not have a lot of muscle, maybe you don't exercise enough, those triglycerides are redirected to the fat that you don't want, which is that internal organ fat and that fat behind the abdominal wall. So excessive portions of carbohydrate in the form of rice is the main culprit here. It's really an easy fix though. What you can do is just begin to use portion control when you eat your rice. 100 grams of rice cooked will yield 25 grams of carbs. And again, if you don't exercise, if you don't weight train, your need for carbohydrate is really very low. If you are a weight trainer, then it would be higher. So I would use riced cauliflower to replace the volume of the rice. And then also, I would increase my protein a bit. I know in certain cultures, their protein sources are very limited, but you would have to increase your protein a touch and substitute some riced cauliflower for the rice, and also add some other vegetables as well. One thing to make note of is fats with excessive carbs are going to really accelerate the fat gain process, because, like I said, glucose converted to fat in the liver, and then you have dietary fat on top of it. All of that's going to get shuttled preferentially to that intra or post-abdominal fat that you don't want, and that's causing the pot. And then finally, if you reduce your portion sizes, increase your protein, limit your fats with big rice meals, something that's really simple and effective in increasing your insulin sensitivity so that you will use up that energy, is a 10-minute walk after each meal. That will get your legs using the glucose that's in your system. It'll uptake it, and then your incidence of that excess glucose being stored as fat behind the stomach, or behind the abdomen, is pretty much going to be solved. It's not very hard, especially if you don't exercise. Just by reducing your portions and taking those 10-minute walks, you will definitely see a flattening of your stomach. Don't make it harder than it has to be. It's just decreasing your food and increasing your activity a little bit. If you got value out of this video, like, subscribe. Thanks for watching.